Becoming Vice Chancellor and Foreign Minister was Guido Westerwelle's dream. But that dream has turned into a nightmare. Opponents criticize his policies and say he lacks charisma. Polls show Westerwelle and the FDP are definitely out of favor with the voters.
This is the first time voters have lost so much confidence in the junior coalition party. That never happened to the FDP in earlier coalitions with the CDU or SPD.
Is the FDP on the verge of collapse? Many supporters of the party say it's possible, and they're calling for Westerwelle's resignation. They fear disastrous results in upcoming state elections. On the other hand, his loyal followers are working hard to limit the damage. But how long can they protect their party leader? The FDP is just one of the problems the Chancellor faced in 2010. It's been a difficult year for Angela Merkel. When you're Chancellor, having a guard of honor comes with the job. But unlike a state visit, there's no military discipline among cabinet members. Sometimes they even insult each other in public.
The Alps are trembling, the woods are wobbling, and Lake Chiemsee is frothing. Aren't you afraid, my friends? But don't worry, it's not a tsunami, it's just Westerwelle.
If the CSU says Rösler is making everything so expensive, then all I can say is no health policy reform will ever cost as much as all the money that went up in smoke due to the state banks.
Things were so bad between the coalition partners at the start of the year, it seemed the Chancellor's admonishments fell on deaf ears.
Those are not my words. That's not my style.
Voters are fed up with the bickering, and they have pinned the blame on the FDP.
They expected the FDP to govern. They wanted the government to be civil, and are disappointed because, at the risk of sounding flippant, the FDP spent more time fooling around than governing.
And when the FDP did address an issue, it was only when they were doomed to lose. The health reform package, for example. The CDU scored points in 2010 for popular decisions. Conscription has been abolished, and that pleased the voters. But surely the economic recovery has helped the FDP in the opinion polls. The economics minister says the crisis is over.
This recovery isn't an economic miracle yet, but a large upswing that's growing all the time.
In 2010, the FDP thought the time was ripe to finally keep their election promise to lower taxes. But the CDU and also many voters disagreed, saying it would be better to reduce debt. Merkel showed who's boss.
Tax cuts cannot be introduced in the foreseeable future.
Germany is enjoying an economic recovery, but experts say politics and the economy are two different things.
It has little to do with the government. Public opinion has changed. They no longer think that it's the government that's in control of the economy.
At the end of the summer, Merkel realized something had to be done. She announced new tactics.
This is the autumn of decisions. Time to make decisions for the next decade.
And those decisions followed quickly. The plan to end nuclear energy was thrown overboard. The phase-out of nuclear power stations was extended. Voters weren't pleased. Protests followed, and that was good news for the Greens. Their popularity soared to previously unknown heights.
I promise this government a long, hot fall. They should be ready for it.
The Chancellor appeared unfazed, and as far as domestic issues were concerned, the government seemed to be back on course. But as the year drew to a close, Merkel found herself out in the cold among her European counterparts.
I cannot remember a time when a German head of government or party faced criticism in the EU as harsh as we're seeing now.
angegriffen worden ist oder Partei war, wie das jetzt der Fall ist.
At the EU summit, Merkel did manage to bring together German and European interests, and quarrels over the euro were avoided. In all, the Chancellor can look back on her achievements in 2010 with satisfaction, while the only thing FDP leader Westerwelle can do is hope for a brighter future.